lighter color on you. It looks nice.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if this is a new suit, but I like the look. It's working for you.
It's a new blazer. Thank you.
It's the warm weather in L.A., Molly. You know, lighter colors.
It's not just that, Molly. Somebody has to be diverse on this show when it comes to the dudes. I mean, you bring it all the time, but Max Kellerman is like Mr. Matrix. The same stuff every week. Max got like 3 versions of the same suits. The same 3 suits every day.
I got 10 versions of the same suit.
Okay,
10, not 3. 10.
That's right. My bad.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
accurate. He's right.
And they're not the same.
You all are hilarious. All right, guys. Let's get it started. I want to talk about these New York Football Giants guys and obviously the Bucs. So they
play, especially when you have a flag that you pick up. Like that's like, you know, I don't think they got it right. But that's different than saying they got robbed. First of all, even if they convert on the 2-point if they make the 2-point conversion, they're in overtime. You think they're necessarily going to win this game? I would have my money on Brady and the Bucs, who are the better team. Look, if you're relying on the refs to get the last play just right, and it was bang, bang, like the defender's arm was there deflecting the ball almost simultaneously, I agree upon review barely that he hit Deion Lewis first, but it was close. If you're relying on that to win, why was Daniel Jones so late with the throw? Like, that was the real problem. That's a designed play he screwed up, as he screwed up so many plays throughout the game. Not seeing receivers, missing open receivers, overthrowing receivers consistently. He was not consistent down the field. By the way, the offensive play calling wasn't bad. The defense kept them in the game. But Daniel Jones blew it, not just then, throughout the game. He was like Carson Wentz minus some talent, minus some arm talent, a little faster, right? If you say it comes down to, on a design play on a 2-point conversion, the refs, you being on the wrong end of a bang-bang call where the quarterback was late with the ball and it would have only gotten you to overtime anyway, and Giants fans are going to sit here today, and you and I are among them, Molly. And by the way, Stephen A. is a Steelers fan, but he's Giants. Stephen A. likes you like your Giants, Stephen A. You can't hide from me. If Giants fans are today really pointing to that and saying the refs robbed us, that's ridiculous.
Well, first of all, listen, it's of course you're right about that, but the point is that the play which is what we're talking about. We're not interested in a history lesson on the New York Giants. The bottom line is this. When you talk about what transpired on that 2-point conversion, and Antoine Winfield, he got there in time. He got there right in time. I mean, I didn't think it was a pass interference at all. I think the refs were right to pick up the flag. It was not pass interference. Yes, you got Daniel Jones trying to get to Deion Lewis, but not only did Winfield get there right in time, I mean, the timing was perfect because they almost messed up the play, but more importantly, he looked back a little bit towards the ball, which is something that cornerbacks should learn to do more of. A lot of times when they're getting called for pass interference, I saw several plays this Sunday when a pass interference was called against a particular defender on a particular team, and the major reason why the pass interference was called was because the defender never turned around to look at the ball or to go for the ball. That's where you're sure to get called for a pass interference, even if it's close. But if it's close and you turn around to look at the ball or to stick your arm up where the ball obviously hit his arm or whatever, and he had turned towards Daniel Jones, I think it was clear that it was not a pass interference. That was the right call. Having said all of that, I do want to say this. The Giants' offense is absolutely horrid. We understand that. Daniel Jones is a big reason why. They got the second worst offense in football, the second worst passing attack in football. But I got to tell you something. I think Joe Judge is doing a hell of a job. They got the 11th ranked defense, 11th rank against the pass. They're 4th against the rush. They play hard all the time. They're in far more games than we ever anticipated. And more importantly, unlike Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys, Joe Judge and the New York Giants are playing better football every single week. I was not high on this hire at all. I know he had a resume, but it wasn't that of a coordinator or what have you. But I got to tell you something. I'm watching these New York Giants play. This guy, Joe Judge, as a coach, he's got potential. They improve every single week, and they play hard every single week. There's no giving up in the New York Giants. They got to get their quarterback situation straight. There's no question about that. But the job that this guy, Joe Judge, is doing, the record is not indicative of the job that man is doing as head coach of the New York Giants.
Well,
I got to give props where props is due. I'm impressed by this guy.
We agree about the job Joe Judge is doing so far as a rookie head coach with a team where he lost his all-world running back in an offense that was predicated on the presence of that running back. I agree, they do compete, and they're getting closer and closer. However, let's step back, Stephen A. How many years does the GM, David Gettleman, get? How many years does Gettleman get before they start winning? Like, how many, in year 3, how many years does it take before we're still giving him credit for, you are almost winless this season, but you're competing in every game?
Who the hell gave Dave Gettleman credit? Who's that person? Who are you talking about?
The point
Nobody's giving Gettleman credit.
Does he keep his job? Does he keep his job or not? Because if he hires the right coach, and it's unclear that Joe Judge is the right coach. However, I agree with your assessment about him so far. You were stating facts about the way they play. I agree with that. But there are articles abound, which means people are talking, Stephen A., about Gettleman getting more rope. And he hired the head coach, and he reached for this quarterback. And the Giants are getting credit at this moment from you, just now, for being competitive in game after game in an almost winless season.
Joe Judge is getting credit because he's doing. Listen, when you consider what he's working with and how they improve every single week and how hard they're playing, the combination of hard work and constant improvement and progression, a coach deserves credit for that. Regardless of what we may think about Gettleman, it doesn't negate the fact that the man he hired, the man the Giants ownership signed off on, I think has incredible potential as a head coach. Now, me personally, I would have liked to have seen Louis Riddick to be the general manager for the New York Giants. I think that he would have been the right man for the job. Instead, he's calling Monday Night Football instead of making sure he's making decisions for the New York Giants. And that's the Giants' fault as far as I'm concerned. But Joe Judge, there's no denying, the guy is doing a hell of a job thus far. The record is not indicative of the job he's doing. And if Gettleman hired him, he deserves credit for that.
They've lost that 3 games by 3 points or less. Yeah, and yet they're losing
Max,
because
I think
of their quarterback.
To Stephen A's point. Let me just wrap it up here. Sorry, we got we're dealing with the delays. But basically, what I was going to say to your point, Stephen A. They've lost three games by 3 points or less. And to your earlier point, Joe Judge took a lot. He had never been a coordinator before in this league, but he is doing a tremendous job with this team. And if Daniel Dimes could only take care of the football, I know that's easier said than done. I don't know if he can control the turnover problem. And obviously he had the fumble as well. Maybe we can keep hope alive. That's a strong point for Max. I do want to focus.
That's strongly to Max's point because Dave Gettleman selected Daniel Jones. Joe Judge didn't. And so Joe Judge comes in there, he inherits Daniel Jones, but look at the job he's doing.
He reached for Daniel Jones at 6, and Daniel Jones at best right now looks like a guy where if everything breaks right, he may one day be an above-average quarterback, but I would make those odds at under 50-50 based on what I'm seeing, and that's who you reached for at 6. It remains to be seen if Joe Judge is an excellent head coach. So far, there are some promising signs with a depleted roster. That's the best we can say about the Giants yesterday. And Stephen A., push comes to shove, did the refs get the call right or wrong at the end of the game? They got it wrong. I agree it was close, but they got it wrong.
Yeah. Also, guys, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the Bucs survived. We thought this would have been a beatdown. It wasn't. So I do want to get your thoughts on Tampa side of things a little bit later in the show.